What's the deal? It's your boy, Mr. Will, and you are now tuned in to Wilson Block 1000 Radio. Okay, we got defendant number 1, Vernon Lloyd Patterson, bar number 165016 of the Vernon Patterson Dossier. Vernon Patterson's role in People v. Michael Taylor. Appointed bar panel defense attorney for Michael Bernard Taylor Jr. under the Los Angeles County Superior Court system. Allegedly acted as an agent of concealment and procedural sabotage by facilitating a competency proceeding in violation of a sealed court order while suppressing the defendant's on-record objections. His actions and inactions are central to the exposure of the court's concealed chain of command. Summary of involvement. Vernon Lloyd Patterson is not simply a court-appointed lawyer in People v. Michael Taylor. He is the central human gateway through which systemic fraud was delivered onto the record. As bar number 165016, Patterson was sworn to defend Taylor's constitutional rights. Instead, he became the silent courier of unlawful psychiatric proceedings, shielding the court's violations with strategic indifference, misleading explanations, and deceptive communication. The dossier bearing his name was not titled lightly. It reflects the grave weight of what Patterson's presence revealed, that he operated less as counsel and more as a courier for higher judicial command. He transmitted fraudulent paperwork, misrepresented sealed orders, gaslit his own client into silence, and attempted to normalize due process violations under the guise of legal procedure. At key stages, Patterson admitted in writing that the sealed order was never seen, yet he proceeded to enforce the evaluation, knowing its legal foundation was void. He told Taylor to let him know when you want to surrender and offered to explain to the court why Taylor feels it's necessary to stop proceedings. These statements reflect not representation, but facilitated surrender, positioning his own client as mentally defective while insulating the court from exposure. Even worse, Patterson persisted after Judge Carter had already acknowledged that no order was ever signed. Rather than defend Taylor, he functioned as the court's mouthpiece, keeping up the illusion of due process while trampling over the defendant's right to confront, object, and access court records. Okay, why is he the number one suspect and namesake of the dossier? He crossed the line from ineffective assistance to active procedural betrayal, okay? He upheld a false record even when directly shown the underlying fraud. He attempted to suppress the defendant's objections by framing them as evidence of mental illness. He became the living proof that the public defense system is subordinate to secret judicial interests, okay? The dossier is named after Patterson not merely because of what he did, but because his very presence reveals what the system is built to hide. His role exposes the institutional conspiracy of silence between court-appointed defenders, judges, and mental health contractors. He is the human breach in the firewall. Okay, to name the dossier after Patterson is not to accuse him alone. It is to mark the exact fault line where legal defense ends and state control begins. Okay, it's your boy, Mr. Will. That's the deal, man. Vernon Lloyd Patterson, okay, defendant number 1 in the Vernon Patterson dossier. He's the one who exposed the entire chain of command, okay, when he told me, okay, that, you know, the court already told you the last time we were in court that, you know, it's a non-issue, no court order existed for the assessment that had already sent me to the hospital and put me on forced medication. Right. And then, you know, you would say that in a Marsden hearing, though, right? Because, you know, you can, you know, deny it and seal it and nobody will ever know. Right. That's what you did. Okay, it's what you did. Okay, and you think that a lawyer and a judge with all this experience, okay, would be a little more savvy, okay, in their, you know what I'm saying, you know, strategy, okay? Because, you know, the fraud that was committed before Vernon Patterson even took the case, I mean, you know, it just didn't have to happen. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. You didn't have to commit fraud in order to prejudice a defendant's case. Okay, all you had to do was just, continue to keep the procedure, ambiguous. Okay, but I cut through all of that too. Okay, so you know what I'm saying. You can't fool me. Okay, I have the insight from the Holy Spirit. Okay, and Jesus Christ is Lord. Okay, and I don't care how you feel about that. Okay, you better get with that. Okay, because Jesus Christ the only one who can save y'all from the legal reckoning is about to drop. Okay, it's your boy Mr. Will. That's the deal.